Hello, everyone. How's it going? Hope you can all hear me properly. Just give me a second here. Hopefully, you can hear me all properly here. Yeah, sorry, just doing a test here. I haven't had these things in a while. Well, like it says, I am back. So, yeah, I went on. I was went on a nice little vacation there a couple weeks ago. Wanted to get out, went out of town and had fun. I built some great memories for the kids. It was a lot of fun. It was a great time. A lot's happened in that 2 week period. So I wanted to go over some of the stuff that happened and talk about, as I said in the community post I put up there, talk about all the uh, all the models that become legends now. And I have a feeling we haven't seen the last of that. There's a lot of units there that I think are going to end up legends as well. But yeah, no, it was funny. I go on vacation, say, hey guys, I'm going on vacation. There will be another one for just a little while. And as we're driving out of town, um, I check my email, and there it is. The bunch of units are now going to become legends. So look through, and it's scouts, and um, which is kind of funny because they just improve scouts big time. It's scouts of all sorts, attack bikes, um, the old school tech marines, librarian, right? Another dreadnought, the anti-air tank, the hunter tank that space marines have, all gone, all legends now. Right? So I'm like, seriously, I'll have to talk about this eventually, but it's interesting because the competitive side of 40K definitely has ascended now, right? It's the biggest part of 40K now is the competitive side, and that's okay. That's what helps drive sales. They put out competitive units, put out new units, new armies. Games Workshop wants to make money, and that's cool. I got no problem with that. The units technically aren't gone; they are legends now. So if you're like me and you just like to play, regular games. Not that I've played a game in a while. I'm working on rectifying that. But if you're just playing friendly games, it really doesn't matter. You can still use your scouts. You can still use all that stuff. But competitively, they're gone. And it makes you wonder why other units weren't made legends at the same time, and will eventually will we see them as units? And it's funny. Assault Marines are a big one that disappeared. So I mean, that's a big one for things like Blood Angels that a lot of competitives have used the assault squads, and now they're gone. So what's the next step? Right? I want to reminisce too about some of these old units, right? The fun we've had with them. Land speeders have gone. I never really used land speeders. I was never big on land speeders. But I mean, I used scout squads and assault squads all the time. And I remember my assault squads being a menace. They would just charge in there with their jetpacks, jumping over the enemy units, slamming into the units I wanted to annihilate. And I remember I had a game where I had a single assault unit playing Tau. I was able to sneak my assault unit around without getting it shot up, and I hit one of their fire warrior squads, and just massacred it. And then hit the next one because they had them all lined up on this ridge, and then hit the next one, and hit the next one. It was wonderful. Just this one squad just annihilating everything in front of it. It was amazing. And obviously, we're going to be seeing, hopefully, new units take their place, right? Obviously, the scout squads probably been already replaced by the eliminators, right? They do effectively the same thing. Again, assault squads don't really have It depends. Like assault squads without jump packs, you have your assault intercessors, right? So the assault squads with jump packs, there isn't really a thing yet. And obviously, from what we've seen from stuff for the Space Marine 2, there, we could potentially be seeing them. Obviously, we're in August now, and apparently it's fall when we're going to see the Space Marine Codex. Now, I have a feeling it could be September, perhaps October at the latest. I have a feeling, no, it's going to be September at some point. We will see a Space Marine Codex. Will we see new units? Absolutely. With assault squads gone, scout squads, the speeders, the anti-air tank, the hunter there, tech marines and librarians. Well, they've already had, Primaris replacements, so it's only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time before they were gone. Not really left from the old school stuff. Now we still have our captains and chaplains, I believe. I'm going to look that up because I want to make sure I'm not giving bad information here. It's been a little while. Let's just take a look here. Come on. I just want to go back and see what they're saying here. Because it's going to be, it's sad to see them go, but I think at the end of the day, it was only a matter of time before the stuff. I have to agree with some of the other posts I've seen over the last couple of weeks that some people are surprised that it took this long. Right there it is. So let's see here. So that's the attack bike squad, scout bike squad, land speeder storm, stalker hunter, the ironclad dreadnought assault squad, company command, scouts with sniper rifles, librarian, tech marine servitors, and the thunderfire cannon. We still have firstborn captains, chaplains. We still have the tactical squads, devastator squads. It is sad to see them go. We still have rhinos and predators and with the stalker hunter gun. The number of old school stuff is dwindling, which makes it is sad. I made a video about it earlier this week saying, it's okay to be mad about it, and it is. It's okay to be mad about it. It's okay to be disappointed. But at the end of the day, some of these kits are over 20 years old. Right, or almost 20 years old. Some of them updated in the meantime, but they're old. So I'm not surprised that they're gone. It is sad that they're gone, but I'm not surprised. I hope. Part of me is a little disappointed too. I know, like a lot of people are upset. Again, I don't play competitively. And most armies I've seen playing competitively, they're not going to miss this. I've seen a lot of them that have no old school or firstborn, however you want to call it. Obviously, drop pods can carry certain units now. Rhinos can only carry, tactical marines or devastator marines at this point. Going forward, I think we're going to see more stuff disappear. For instance, if you look at some of the characters that have disappeared, sorry. Like I got Sergeant Tellian here, right? He's out of production right now. He's gone to that big vault in the sky where at some point he may come back. Now, Trent War veterans, Sergeant Cronus, Captain Sicarius, have all, Cassius, they've all gone. They're no longer being made, but they haven't been made legends yet. They're still in there somewhere. I have a feeling before long we will see them gone too. Either we'll get a new plastic model, which could happen in the next release. We'll see what happens there. But I think we're going to see I think before long we'll see them become legends too, which is okay. I wouldn't mind seeing Tellian become, say, some sort of special leader for the Eliminators, what have you. At the end of the day, the big question the reason why I think they're going to go on is right now, some of those units just like Tellian, for instance, he could lead scout squads. Well, he's not legend yet, but if you want to try and use him competitively, I know no one in their right mind would, but if you wanted to, there's nothing for him to lead. Because all the scout squads are gone. Again, you take like someone like Sergeant Cronus. I have a feeling before long he will go because there's what predators that you put him in. Maybe a Lehman, not Lehman Russ, a Land Raider. I mean, you have Whirlwind still; they're not gone yet, but and even something like hello, it's Rossifist Mythos. Hello, my bro. Getting my English and Baskin Robinson. Well, that's yeah, but I'll be home soon. Awesome. Well, I look forward to seeing you soon, man. No, it's I have a feeling a lot of these guys will become legends too. I hope to get replacements. I wouldn't mind seeing a Gladius being boosted by Sergeant Cronus in his new Rubicon Primaris form as some sort of like kick-ass Primaris tank commander, or see Tellian. I was just reminiscing again. A little Tellian here as a Primaris eliminator leader or something, or Phobos armor, so he can lead things. I mean, if you look at, I honestly thought when I saw one of those early images of Captain Phobos armor that it was going to be a new Tellian, because he looks exactly like Tellian, bald head and all. So, I mean, maybe you could say, hi, if I became a captain, it's Captain Tellian now, right? I mean, Cassius has been around forever. He's not legend. You can't get as a model. I have a feeling he'll disappear soon. Sicarius may get a new model. Who knows? I think it'd be cool, right? I mean, he's back from being lost in Warp. He crosses the Rubicon Primaris, and all of a sudden, boom, right? Again, who knows? I would hope that they give these guys some new life in the Primaris lifestyle that everybody else has taken. It also brings up the question of the index cards. I mean, I picked up the Spaceman index cards. They're cool. There's a lot of fun in there, but it is huge. I get why they want to cut down some numbers. At the same time, now I have cards for units that will probably never get used again. Maybe the choice should have been made beforehand, before the index cards came out. Again, it's some questionable business tactics in Games Workshop there. But yeah, so I mean, I remember like Tellian. I remember I had a game with my old Games Workshop store manager. It was my Ultramarines versus his Orcs, and he had a unit of the old style Orc Commandos. It was really cool metal models, and they tore through my command squad and my captain. Absolutely decimated. Captain got cut in half by a power claw. Tellian and his scouts charged in. The scouts got killed off. Tellian completely my old manager, he whiffed with his attack with the knob of the unit, and this unit had taken a single wound yet, right? They just, everything bounced off them. They ripped through everything. Not even a chance. I whiffed my captain's attacks. It was horrible, and I had lightning claws on him. Just whiffed. Tellian and his scouts beat the unit. Tellian was all his left. Tellian passed all his saves. And again, like the knob whiffed, just completely missed with his switch, his power claw. Tellian beat the unit, and this is back in, I think this is 5th edition at this point. And because Tellian won, he did more wounds in that particular. Overall, I think he ended up doing more wounds in total than the enemy did. Right, he wiped out 5. I think he did I don't know. Anyways, I won the combat, obviously, and I was able to chase the unit down. So I wiped out a unit of commandos with Tellian just by chasing down. You could do that if you broke. I was able to catch up. We both rolled our dice. Boom, wiped out. Now, it didn't happen to Marines because they had and they show no fear back then, where if they got caught, they just went to new combat. But yeah, I just wiped out the whole squad. So Italian sitting there happy as pie. They came in on the flank. The flank was not cleared thanks just to Italian. So I mean, not a bad character. The long run, I loved playing with him. He was really cool. I really didn't give too much on the tactical part of it. I just always thought he was cool. We used to call him Sean Connery because he looked like Sean Connery. But yeah, so there's something to said about moving on, though. I'm hoping that whatever they decide to replace these with, it'll make up for. I don't think we're going to see land speeders get replaced. They already have a brand new speeder. Scouts won't get replaced with anything. The command squad won't get replaced with anything, I don't think. Or maybe they'll come up with a new Primaris command squad. We have ancients, and we have apothecaries on their own. So maybe they'll come with something. I don't know. But I mean, it'll be cool to see what they do replace some of the other stuff with. We obviously have new bikes, so we don't really need them. The Games Workshop did say that you could, if you want to keep using these models, just use the rules. They said if you love your attack bikes, just use the Outrider squad. They are getting rid of, I think, the Ironclad Dreadnought, but now apparently we're going to have the Redemptor, the Brutalis, and the Ballistus, and then we're going to have just a Dreadnought. And they're not super clear on it, but they do say that you can use it, like you can still use it under this title, just Dreadnought. So I have a feeling they're going to keep the Dreadnought rules in there. But there won't be any more just regular Dreadnought or Ironclad or Venerable. It'll just be Dreadnought, and it will take in all the weapon stats most likely. So you can still build an old school Dreadnought, which is perfectly cool. The Tech Marine going isn't a big deal. The Thunderfire Cannon, it's, again, a really, really old model at this point, and no one really uses it. So I don't think it's something they just want to keep carrying around or keep manufacturing when it's something that's not going to be used. I mean, it's the same. It is much like the same reason why they get rid of the BITS program way back in, I think, 2008. The BITS program was fantastic. If you didn't know what that was, you could go into a Games Workshop store. So for the web stores, really worked out. And you could order specific bits, specific sprues, specific models. So if you really needed Marnie's Calgar's left arm, you could get Marnie's Calgar's left arm completely on its own. If you needed a particular sprue from the old guard boxes, you could get a particular sprue. If you needed just one specific Marine, again, if they were metal or, you could get that one specific Marine, right? It was great. It was fantastic. You get what you want. Now, of course, that meant you had to keep massive amounts of bits for both fantasy and 40K at that point. I don't think they were doing it for Lord of the Rings at that point. They might have been. I can't remember. But it means you have to have a huge stock of bits everywhere for everything, for every sprue, every character, every tank, every chariot, every dragon, every whatever. It takes up a lot of space. A lot of money goes into that, so they scrapped that. I have a feeling that's why they're doing it now. Why continue building units that people are just not going to buy anymore? Yes, there's a downside of people who don't want to buy Primaris are now seeing, and maybe they still want to try and be competitive, Sans Primaris, are now seeing a bunch of their armies gutted, which is unfortunate. I mean, I've been toying around. I put up a video of my 2,000 point Space Marine list, and I actually went through it, and while I'm definitely not competitive, I took the Scouts out. I took the Assault Squad out, and I can't remember if I took the Dreadnoughts out of that one. I have to look that up now. Give me a second. Yeah, I think I left my Dreadnoughts in, but yeah, it's got 2 tactical squads, Rhinos, Predator. The Primaris is getting in there. I have my Assault Intercessors, my Aggressors, and I have a Primaris Lieutenant in there. My Ultramarines in there, my Devastator squad, but I'm slowly getting there. I'm starting to try and work on all the cool Primaris stuff from the Librarian box set or the Leviathan box set, which will be fun. I've got the Ballistus Dread built. Now I have to go paint them up and get them all get them all ready, and then I think I may dive on the Terminators after that because they look freaking cool. And the Terminator Captain and all the new. I love that Lieutenant who's all on his own, all lonesome. Freaking cool. Excuse me. But that brings me the other cool thing I thought, and this is something that popped up after I put up my community post. I picked up this month's White Dwarf. One, because the bunker. Now, this is cool. This is something that I thought was pretty cool. Basically, setting up a community, right? Where basically you can challenge yourself, get yourself organized. It's like apparently supposed to be the best Warhammer club ever, right? So all these different things. There's challenges. There's the bunker challenges here, and the ranks and things you can do, painting up certain units, get yourself points, right? What you're going to do, right? Right. And see, you get permission granted to photocopy. It's person use only, right? All the different points you can get, cool stuff like that. And there's a combat patrol league, right? How many you get points based on if you played, if you won, did you play with a full painted army per unique opponent face, stuff like that. Well, it's pretty cool. They gave us some new missions, which we'll get to. So there's Shield and Blade for 40k fans. Shield and Blade is pretty cool. Pretty basic setup. We also have the Gates of Azir for Warhammer Sigmar. Age of Sigmar there. Really cool. Battle of the Gate. Really cool. Of course, this one is specifically also dealing with Leviathan, right? The big to-do. Again, I love these things here. These are always fun for me, right? The reputations of faithless hysteria, a pamphlet, just the fluff stuff. They're all written by one Stencil Savant Thormanda, lying on behalf of his munificent Duke Pelatorius IV of House Pelatorius of the Northern Terran Polar Arcology's 27th day of toil so righteous. Right, that's a day. Toil so righteous is, I guess, a month now. More stuff. Again, more written these things here. I love these things. Ordos cool things. I always love that. The fluff. It's a character. I always love that because it drew me in. Of course, the big battle for Leviathan. Right. The Space Marines. And they go through the armies, the chapters elite. The cool stuff for the Tyranids. A nice big battle port, which I won't ruin for you. If you haven't gotten it, go pick it up. And cool stuff about Age of Sigmar. And again, more fluff in here. I love this fluff stuff, right? Upon the realm of the gods of the realm and their manifestations, right? All these different gods, right? The Arcana, the stuff here, archetypes of divinity. Really cool stuff. Painting guides. No, the really cool thing, though, it came from this. Obviously, there's all the other stuff and there's even Blood Bowl in here, which I'd love to see that the Blood Bowl made a return. It was a fantastic game back in the day. I'm really glad they were able to get that one back. It gives me hope for things like Battlefield Gothic one day. Some Black Library stuff. What's this called? I love this. The Orders, Sir. They had this thing called Classified Orders, Sir. The answers. Where they asked you have this captain and this big shield, the big power sword. And which of the units do you think is it? The Stern Guard, Intercessors, Assault Intercessors, Inferno Squad, or Blade Guard? Which one would he be best suited for? And they kind of give you different options. And then it's Blade Guard. Other stuff will allow you to fully use his abilities to the best of it. Right? I like that. This cool tactical thought. Oh, and the other thing I got to mention is I follow this guy. Here we have basic training. And you may or may not recognize that man. I don't know if you see him. One Stephen Box. Now, if you don't know who he is, go hop on the Instagram. Go look up Vanguard Tactics. Guy is fantastic at it. He's had a really crazy, just amazing video with Mini War Game Day there. just awesome stuff. And he goes some really, really awesome points here, tactical points, which are just great. Things like take and hold, objective appraisal, out of my way. You can take that what you like, but should you, right? Things, hey, Mythos, I'm home, my brother. It's glad to have you on board, my friend. Very cool. Now, this is where it gets even better, though. I'm glad I picked this up. Came to a few things. So, one, quick start guide, right? Index sheet for all the different phases. And what I like best is on this side, all the universal special rules, right? And all the cool stuff. The charts are here, right? The shooting phase, right? Charge phase, fight phase, all the cool things. So I'm going to definitely be using that as a quick reference guide. It means I'm not going to dive through the rules all the time. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So cool stuff here for Age of Sigmar. Some battle plans, border wear, seismic shift, changing priorities here, and then of course battle pack contest warlords, 1,000 points. I don't play Age of Sigmar. The other cool thing here, again, a benefit, there's some cool White Dwarf paint recipes, so you can actually put down, if you see something in the White Dwarf that, oh man, I really want to get that painting thing, you write it down here. There's a bunch of them. You have your bunker point stuff that I told you about. Yeah, big thing here, stratagems. You have an index for stratagems. The basic ones from the rule book are all here. Great, awesome find because it means it's a little less hopping through the rules trying to find stuff that's right there. And the other thing, the Gates Vizier and Shield and Blade, you have the index here, right? Just the basic setups for the tables, which is really cool. And basically gives you your command and control objectives, heart of defense, mission rules on. So that was really cool. Like the fact, and of course it's Bunker Mission 1, August 2023, which means most likely as this goes on, we will get more of these. So a cool little collection of special missions. Sort of throw some fun in there, have fun with your friends. I'll need to pick them up. Yes, you will. Yeah, no, right here. It's a small one. I haven't popped it out yet. It's just a small little box here. But yeah, command reroll and St. Bravery, counteroffensive, grenade, epic challenge, tank shock, command reroll. Okay, so they got a few of the same ones here, but this one has rapid ingress, smoke screen, go to ground, heroic intervention, and fire overwatch. So I did command reroll. There's a couple of them twice, so that's not a problem. But cool. Again, it's great to have them all ready to go. I'm going to be throwing that in with my rules because, that's going to be awesome. And of course, it doesn't going to cover the stratagems that we will at some point hopefully get with Space Marines. I don't know. Like I said, the list, of course, Games Workshop's being going to be enigmatic with their release. It's not going to tell us exactly what's coming on, but it'll be soon. I have a feeling it will come, like I'm saying, in September, because at the end of the month, the Warhammer 40K app will no longer be totally usable. Right there, you'll still be able to use. You'll still be able to use the references but the Battleforge will not be fully operational, which is unfortunate. But it's going to be part again of the Warhammer Plus subscription stuff. So I have a feeling because that's going to go. That's probably going to get Space Marines because they don't really care right now. You're going to buy the index cards. It's cheap. It's free for the most part. So right now it's just letting people get adjusted. But then when the new codex is coming out, Space Marines or Tyranids first up, it's gonna. That's when the free ride sort of ends. Now some of it's gonna stay around. Like I said, you're gonna be able to see all the rules and indexes, but of course those will probably change as well a little bit. I have a feeling we'll see things get a bit more ironed out when the new codex comes out. I'm gonna pick it up because I want to have want all the fluff in there. Again, I'm a narrative player, right? I'm there for the fun games. I'm not super competitive. I really, at the end of the day, don't care who wins or loses as long as the game is fun. I don't know. I mean, I think we scored heavily with this one. I love the fact that we had the quick start guide. No, it's cool. They say, they take some stuff, they give some stuff. I'm hoping we don't lose too many more things. I asked in that video, what more can we lose? I have a feeling that we'll probably won't see tactical squads or devastator squads disappear this edition. That being said, I have a feeling before that, probably about the next edition of the game, tactical squads and devastator squads will be gone. Rhinos will be gone. Razorbacks will be gone. The Whirlwind will be gone. Predator Annihilators will be gone. We'll see. We won't see more captains. No more chaplains that aren't Primaris. I mean, I think a lot of people, like I said before, are surprised that they haven't gone now, but I think they've been trying to let people ease into it. It is a severe change. And I think they learned a lesson from the Age of Sigmar, where they just sort of said, okay, here's your new armies. I like dwarves, that's cool. They don't have dwarves anymore. I like the Empire, that's cool. Here's some free rules to use them, but they don't exist anymore. Oh, you really love the orcs where you were? Yeah, well, they don't exist anymore. Oh, you love Tomb Kings? Yeah. They don't exist anymore. Vampire counts don't exist anymore. High elves, dark elves, they don't exist anymore. Right? Completely gone. It took them a while to get those the replacement models out there, the new armies. But at the same time, it was very much, in the new game, the new big heroes are Stormcast Eternals. They're basically like Space Marines. Boom. There's no more Empire. We'll give you Cities of Sigmar at some point, but there's no more Empire. No more Bretonnia, right? All the stuff is gone. So I think what they've done specifically for Space Marines, because they've had probably the biggest change the last little while. Everybody's got new models for the most part. New Guard, obviously, they went through a big change. They got brand new models. But Space Marines are the poster boys, right? Of course they are. They're the poster boys of 40K. So for them to suddenly just disappear. Imagine if we had gone into 8th going, okay, guys, here's your new Primaris. The new Codex will only have Primaris, Tactical Marines, Devastator, Assault, all the stuff's gone. You have to use Primaris. The new Codex will have no Primaris in it, or no Firstborn Marines, it's all Primaris. How many people would have just been like, okay, well, I'm done? Now, a lot of people probably would have just evolved and moved on, but a lot of people would have maybe evolved and moved with it, but a lot of people would have been pissed off. I know fantasy players, man, when they made that change, they lost so many players. Now they gained a bunch more, but they lost so many players. Do this up, hit your Manticore something as a mount for Stasis. Yes. No, Stasis Sigmar look fantastic. I'm going to get the screen capture stuff, but I was looking at the Cities of Sigmar. Actually, I'm going to go back to that right now. I know you can't see it. I'm getting there. I'm trying to get things. But yeah, the Cities of Sigmar are wow. Pontifex Zenestra, the matriarch of the Great Wheel. See, that's cool. Many of the cults of Unberogen. That does throw back to the old fantasy stuff of worship aspects of the god King Sigmar, Elegy, the great grandmother of the Donny to Sigmar. She brooks no questions about the company skeleton, whose scars mirror her own. That's a bit weird. Yeah, that's pretty nuts. It's on fire. Oh, it's got candles around. And then we have the Ironwell Great Cannons. You see Great Cannons back. That's cool. The Empire is not anything without Great Cannons. Of course, the models are like a gajillion times better than they were back in the day. And then we have the Free Guild Command Corps, which has got a whole bunch of cool stuff in it. Lots of different commanders, wizards. Looks like some sort of Sawbones, a medical guy. another wizard, another big commander with giant axe, some sort of hound, and a guy wearing a banner of Sigmar. Free Guild Cavalier Marshal, that's pretty cool. I mean, some of these models are just epic. Oh my god. I love it. And then, of course, yeah, there's a picture. I'm just trying to get a look at this. It looks like... Yeah, it looks like... Yeah, it is a manticore. It's got the head of a lion, body of wings of an eagle, tail of a scorpion. And it looks like to be some very powerful-looking character standing atop of it. He's got a throne on its back. He's standing up. He's got the range-type sword pointed out. And you can see the range characters there. A bunch of guys with some sort of... You've got men-at-arms type guys there with shields and hand weapons. You got guys with... Looks like muskets. Although different. These ones have bayonets on them. Very cool. Looks like there's... that is cool. I don't know. City Sigmar looks like it's going to be pretty cool. I don't know. But yeah, the Manticore, that Manticore does look absolutely crazy cool. For all we know, it could be the new Emperor of I mean, it's a bit different now. It's the cities of Sigmar, so obviously it's going to be different cities and different realms. But maybe he's like their Emperor. Obviously, they have Karl Franz is long gone. So who knows? That looks pretty cool though. I was excited to see those. I don't think I'll ever jump myself in Age of Sigmar. I had too much Space Marine stuff to paint as it stands, but I hope the Cities of Sigmar make people happy. Fantasy went through a really rough time there right at the end. Talking is thirsty work. But yeah, so like if you guys like Mythos, if everybody else who wants to, what are some of your fond memories of the Scouts, Assault Squads, Command Squads, any of the units that are now becoming legends? What's a fond memory of one of those units? What does it make you like? What's like your favorite memory of one of those units? Just let me know. It'd be cool to see if other people had the same feeling. I mean, my Scouts were always fun to play with. I remember my Sniper Scouts. I was having a staff game, and it ended in pure cinematic brilliance as a Demon Prince charged in on a squad of Sternguard. This was right when Sternguard first showed up. They had one point been my Trent War veterans, but in 5th they disappeared. They were just veterans, really. He charged in, but because I was in cover, my Sternguard or my veterans got to go first. And he was down 1 wound. The Demon Prince down 1 wound, so he charged in. You could just see, bellowing sword ray, spittle going everywhere, and of course, the Sternguard took the opportunity. I managed to get the wound, so rolled a 6 to hit, 6 to wound, and he failed his armor save. Boom, down goes. See his body sort of fade to nothingness as his corporeal form is destroyed. I could just see that one Sternguard sergeant, because our Sternguard had completely untouched the whole game. That was a smaller game. It was only 4 or 5 minutes to use one objective. It was much different. It was meant to be fast and quick. They snuck around the edge, got the objectives they're supposed to. I'd always like to play for the objectives. So very cinematic, right? He devastated a tactical squad or two. He killed my chaplain. But the big heroes of the game, the unsung heroes, well, they didn't get to have that cinematic moment of dispatching a Demon Prince with just a regular close combat attack. Was my Scouts, because they didn't spend the entire game just peppering them, stripping off a wound every turn, or a wound or two every turn, even with only 1 wound. Those veterans didn't get that moment of glory without the Scouts doing a bunch of the work beforehand and just peppering this guy, wounding him here and there with their sniper rifles. Very cool stuff. It was great, right? I've had other times where Scouts have died mercilessly, just slaughtered. I've had assault squads fail charges and get blown away. I've had I've had my attack bike do some wondrous things over the years, blasting stuff away. I've had other times where it's like turn one, it gets roasted by a last cannon, or it's taken out by a bunch of weapon and fire, just toast, doesn't do anything, right? So I mean, it was a lot of fun to. They again, as much as I say they are gone, because they are pretty much gone. Again, with the competitive side being so powerful right now when it comes to miniature wargaming, they are kind of gone now. They won't be seen on tabletop ever again, probably. There'll be people who will be playing with them, people who will only play with them, fortunate stuff like that. But at the same time, they're not truly gone, right? I mean, they are staying as legends. Now, hopefully, in the fullness of time, I mean, this new edition's not that old. It's only a few months old. We'll probably have for 2, 3, 4 years. So hopefully, when we hit that next mark, they'll get carried over. Perhaps not. I don't know. It's hard to say. But, I mean, I think I kind of been trying to go with the thought process of don't be sad it's over, be happy it happened. Right? But that's my 2 cents on it. I've rambled enough. What do you guys think? Do you hope to see them make it? What was a fond memory? Right? I mean, this book's all about Leviathan, right? Goes over the apothecary, biologist, librarian, the lieutenant with combi weapon. There's another question for you guys. Do you think the way combi weapons have been so far and the heirloom weapons, do you feel like that's a placeholder? Like we will get an update to combi weapons and heirloom weapons? Or do you think that's sort of just a thing now? You've got an heirloom weapon. That's it. You got a combi weapon. This is what it does. No more bolter flamethrower stuff, right? I don't know. Terminators, a Stern Guard, Furnace Marines, Ballistus Dreadnought. I can't wait to get my Furnace Marines done. Because they do look cool. There's something cool about these guys just walking up with a whole squad full of flamethrowers. That's cool. And they're in their Tacticus armor. And the Stern Guard, I do love the fact that, well, yes, some of them do have the updated armor. I like the fact that there's, I think, at least, no, maybe this one has the old school helmet. Right, this one of those guys that he didn't want to give up his old helmet. I like that. And of course, they've got all the combi weapons and stuff too. Not that it means much. And one has a heavy bolter. Always good to have heavy bolters. And let's just try that. That's exciting. I can't wait to get that painted up. I have that built. Now I just have to paint the damn thing. And of course, my Captain Terminator armor and all the other cool stuff. I think it's gonna be cool. I had the land speeders coming in clutch so many times. Once I had a Master Squad Warp Biker, now it's charging me down a bunch of good melee weapons or each side of the map. I had 2 land raiders, 2 land. I need more. Where's the rest of it? I had 2 land. 2 land what? And I'm assuming those land raiders were able to, or land speeders were able to shut the orc bikers down. And they're fun. I mean, those models were fun. A Thunderfire cannon was always cool. I have one. I never built it. I had the old metal one. I got the old starter set for those long time ago. And it was an interesting model to put together, to say the least. It was lots of little gaps. It didn't go together super well. Not that it was a huge deal, but I had to build one for the store I worked at, and it was rough. Oh, it was rough. Not one of the best sets to put together. Not the worst set I put together, but it was rough. Lots of fiddly bits that you kind of had to hold. It was one of those ones where you had to glue the body together, and then we had to put elastic bands on it just to make sure it stayed together because it was just falling apart. I had 2 land speeders with double heavy bolters. If I got lucky, I might kill one squad, but with the other one in my back lines, I took a gamble and split fired a land speeder into each bike squad. I'm waiting for the third part with bated breath, Tell us, brother Mythos, how did you smite the enemies of the Emperor? How did you lay them low with holy bolter fire? Tell us, Mythos, tell us. We wait. Don't leave me waiting, Mythos. Please let us know. He says, I killed. You killed what? You killed nothing and you were overrun by orcs. They slaughtered you. Took your heads, put them on their spikes. Come, Mythos, don't leave me hanging here, bro. Don't leave me hanging here, bro. No, I'm going to miss those units. But I think one of the reasons why I haven't gotten was I killed enough in each squad to force morale in each squad. They ran for the hills. One literally ran off the table. The other one didn't rally for 2 turns. Glory for the Emperor! Awesome. I've had some moments like that. I think those are my favorite games where it's not just a blow away, like I tabled them or I just killed in points. But there's like I've had games where I literally won by a Devastator squad. There was one that came down to it. Both armies were decimated. It was literally a squad of orcs, boys, and my Devastator squad, the heavy bolter one. Again, just like I said, that my Devastator squad's come in clutch so many times. I'll be sad when it goes. But it came down to me killing enough of his squad in order to take it below half strength and therefore make it not count for capturing objectives. I was holding my table quarter and everything else was dead. There was literally these 2 squads. Heroes were dead. Squads were dead. Mobs were dead. Tanks blown up. So it came down to literally this one squad, and I killed just enough to level half strength so he didn't count, so I won. I've also lost by a tank. Literally, I lost by a scrap tank against the same guy too. This customer and we had this fantastic run of games, just absolutely nuts, amazing. And but yeah, I lost by a tank. I couldn't take out this one tank. Had I taken it out, I would have won. And at this point, I think there's 4 models on the table. There was his war boss, his knob with the banner, a tank, and an AI had a veteran sergeant from tactical squad. I was horribly outnumbered, but if I had taken out the tank, I tried with the crack grenade, could have done it, but I failed, and I was left. That was it. I had lost by a tank. If I had just taken out a tank, I would have won. I could have done it too, but no. But yeah, so I love these, going through these old memories. But yeah, see, I think all of us Space Marine players will have some fond memories of these old units that just, they came in. They said they came in clutch. They came at the right moment. They did awesome stuff. Broke some units, won a game for you, whatever. Gave you that. They were the unsung heroes that helped take down a greater demon of chaos, right? Or a demon prince of chaos, I should say. While, yeah, your veterans get the glory for offing him finally, but without those scouts, I would not have won that game. But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. But yeah, definitely go pick this book up. Also, I wanted to talk about the battle bunker thing. I think that's cool because it's important to have ways to reach out to the community, especially if you're isolated. Now, I wouldn't say I'm isolated so much, but I have other priorities. So it's cool to be able to reach out and talk to people. That's why I love doing these live things. There's not many people watching, let's be honest there, but it does allow me to interact with some people, and people will watch this afterwards. I love reaching out, right? My White Scars used to really zip around the table with triple Melta plus a Melt attack bite. This guy used to die quickly. They almost always scored a Dreadnought kill, tank kill. Yeah. Now we're going to have to rely on the Outriders and ETVs and stuff like that. I think, like I did say, obviously you may not be able to use it exactly the same way. But you still can use those old bikes if you want to keep that flavor of your White Scars, right? There's all those cool fetishes in the hair and all. It's very, very cool. No, I don't know. I think they often made way more than exactly. Yeah, that was kind of the important thing back in the day. You always wanted to make sure your units were at least scoring back their points in destroyed enemy models. I think it's good to be able to reach out to people and to push yourself ahead. I think I'll try and use it to get myself a bit more motivated. I think one of the other things that's been kind of holding me back from painting all these Primaris Marines out to paint is because I still have all these old models. Why am I going to paint up another unit of this when I already have this? Well, now I don't. So it's time to get more models in. I want to get that Ballistus done, these Furnace Marines, all the cool stuff, the characters. One, it gives me more tactical options, which as an Ultramarine is always a beautiful thing. We're always about the tactics, right? Always about we're not going to go flying off the handle like white scars and charging in and hitting things and melting, slashing things with big spears. No. These are tactics. We'll wear them down, draw them in, get them in pincer formations. It's what we do. I do want to try. Where'd it go? Where'd that mission go? The shield and blade. Because the objective setup is pretty cool. You see, the cool thing is you have mission rules. You have shield generator. So at the start of the first battle round, starting with the attacker, each player selects one objective marker to be their shield generator. While a model from the player's army is within range of their shield generator as a 5+ invulnerable save, which is pretty cool. It says sweeping clear. When playing an incursion-sized battle, if you know objective marker in your command phase, it remains under your control, even if you know model range within it, and turn what opponent controls at the start of any turn. That's pretty cool. Now they have the mission objectives, command and control, progressive objective. The more this crucial region that falls under one commander's sway, the greater the reach and security of strategic command infrastructure becomes. From a second battle round onwards, at the end of each battle round, each player scores 5 victory points for each of the following conditions they satisfy. They control one or more objective markers. They control 2 or more objective markers. The warlord is in range of their shield generator objective marker, and they control it. Heart of Defense. A bold strike to lay claim their arcane, biological, or technological defense system at the heart of the enemy's position will soon see them shorn of its protective power and left defenseless before conquering blades. At the end of each player's turn, that player scores 10 victory points if they control the opponent's shield generator objective marker. That's pretty cool. So if you control your own, and you control your opponent's, and you have one or more objectives, so you're getting boom, 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 boom. You're getting 5 points, right? And it's for each. So if you control one more, you get 5. If you control 2 or more, you get 5. If the warlords, you get 5. And say you control your opponents, you could be getting 5, 10, 15, 25 points a turn. Boom. Pretty cool. I don't know much about the Gates of Azir. Historical battle plan recreates the opening battle of the Age of Sigmar when Stormcast Eternals launched their assault on the Chaos Hordes that occupied the Mortal Realms. So you're trying to get the Realm Gates back. That's what that is. That was always a cool story, the Realm Gate Wars, to defeat the forces of chaos and allow them to move about the realms again to start smiting their opponents, smiting the forces of chaos. It was an interesting Monday, driving out of town to go on my vacation, seeing information like, damn. And I've already sort of rejigged the army, 2,000 point army there. I'm gonna have to rejig my 1,000 point army as well. The cool thing is I do have. Those assault marines, I could perhaps move them over to Horus Heresy stuff. I don't know. Of course, the models have changed for that, but I don't see why I couldn't use some older models to represent that. Now I don't know what I use them. I'd have to get back into Horus Heresy. I don't have very many models for that. I do have one specific Horus Heresy Centurion that was when they redid. God, that was like 6 years ago now, if not more, 7 years ago. They redid all their storefronts on their online stores. They had the special Centurion model. He's got some of the old armor there. He's got a bolt pistol and a power fist, and he's got a mark of Terra on him, right, to represent that he was there at the beginning. I painted him as an Ultramarine. He's pretty cool. but I've never really gotten the Horus Heresy too much. I played one game way back when the original version first came out. Again, just sort of throw tactical Marines together. Obviously, it's changed now. They've upgraded model sizes and all that. But I don't know. I always found with the Horus Heresy stuff, it's cool that they have brought out so many cool models and so many cool, right, to represent these legions at their height. But I've never been a super fan of like the blue on blue fights. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Marines versus Marines again. I always liked. I mean, I've had those games. They're great fun with the right people, but I've never been like big on like, all right, my Ultramarines are take on yours, or my Space Marines are take on your Space Marines. Now there is a lot of variation in those armies, so you can still have cool stuff. But I mean, I was never a big fan of those things, so I've never played too much Horus Heresy. It was fun. It was cool to see people. It's cool to see people throwing down with Primarchs. Now, this is before we had Primarchs in 40K. They were throwing down Primarchs, which was so cool to see. I mean, wow. If you had told me at any point when I worked at Games Workshop, now, back in the day, we actually messed around with Primarchs. We actually messed around with them. We tried to come up with our own stat lines. And you know what? We weren't far off. We did a really cool job. But if someone told me now I would be playing a game where people could get a Loyalist Primarch or a Demon Primarch, I'm like, no way. They will never, ever do that. Games Workshop will never put Primarchs in the game. It's so overpowered, so unbalanced, yada, yada, yada. Oh, I guess I was proven wrong. Oopsies. But anyways, guys, I think I'm going to call it there for tonight. I just want to have a nice little chat about the White Dwarf and the stuff that came in it, and sort of discuss and run through memories about what the cool stuff that's now unfortunately become, it's crossed the rainbow road to the realm of legends, right? But again, thank you everyone who joined in. Thank you, Mythos, for giving us some cool memories there. And as always, guys, I will see you next video. Keep rolling those dice. I will see you later. Bye.